Okay, welcome to the Tiger Care for Abandoned or Orphaned Kittens. Suicide. Right, okay. First thing that happens, if you find kittens in your garden and they're walking around meowing or something like that, don't pick them up. Leave them there, let them wander around for a bit, and make sure that basically keep a distance, but don't touch them. If you touch them, you'll get you'll get human scent on them, and the mother won't take them back. But if you basically keep an eye on them, make sure nothing else comes in, like a magpie. I thought these guys were actually attacked by magpies when we found them. But you basically have to leave them there, don't go near them, and see if the mother comes back. If the mother doesn't come back after a few hours or an hour or so, go out and take them in. Now, kittens that have been found out in the wild normally have been out in the cold for a while. They've already been raised in the cold, and they're not really used to hot temperatures. And the number one killer of kittens is actually people putting them in on top of hot water bottles. If you put a kitten that's been used to whatever temperature in on top of a hot water bottle, you'll actually cook it and you'll kill it that way. So basically the first thing you have to do is find some way of keeping them warm. And the best thing to do is find a box, normally something small, about that size. Put down some newspapers at the end of it, and then put a towel, just a normal towel in, and that should be grand. Now if you can basically whack the towel around in a tumble dryer for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, just get a bit of heat into it, that's grand. But what you're better off doing is long-term heat. Get a sock and put some rice into it. See? Just pour rice into the sock, and it should be up to about there. You know, a lot more rice than in this. It's recession. I haven't got much rice, leave it alone. And bang it into the microwave, right? For about maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Take it out when it's ready. Plug in that, of course. And just hold it against your cheek for about 20-30 seconds. If your cheek starts to burn, it's too hot, leave it to cool down for a bit. Now, what you will have then is it has to be about body temperature, you know, reasonably warm, not too hot, reasonable level of warmth. And then basically put your kittens in with that. Now, they'll probably be screeching their heads off at this point, so just leave them somewhere quiet to calm down. Don't stand over them, poking at them and picking them up, because they'll panic, and if they go into shock they can actually die. So just basically put them somewhere quiet and warm where they can calm down. Once they get to sleep they'll be fine. And then the kittens sleep every 20-30 minutes anyway at that age. In the box, if you can manage it, if you have one handy, I have a metronome, and when I turn it on, hear that? It's a rhythmical beat. If you basically put that underneath the towel, right, in the box will be there, you put the metronome in at the bottom, you put the towel over it, kind of dampens the sound down a little. Once the sound is dampened down, it should come through, and basically the kittens will hear that, and it mimics the mother's heartbeat and calms them down an awful lot, and it's a real thing that will help them survive, because they'll feel their mother's around still. If you haven't got a metronome, because I know an awful lot of people don't, a clock will do. Or basically, if like you don't have, like, I'm talking like a ticking clock, you know, not a digital one. If you haven't got that, put in a watch, you know what I mean? Put the watch somewhere, like, don't put it underneath the thing, because if they won't hear it, it has to be audible clicking and audible beeping, you know what I mean? Something that's kind of like a heart. Right, so your kittens are basically in there now, and your next thing to do is next thing to do is make up artificial cat milk. Now most people won't most people won't have artificial cat milk at home, but you can get it. You can get it from your vet. It's called a Kimi cat or Simi cat, or I don't know, that cat's freaky looking anyway, so I'm just gonna put this away. Yeah, you can get that from your vets if you're able to get to your vet in time, right? It's exactly the same as baby formula. You just put in water and you stir it up and you heat it up to the body temperature. But if you haven't got that, and say you're saving these kittens 2 o'clock in the morning or something, artificial cat milk, right? Now, what you want, ideally, is lactose-free milk. Cats are lactose intolerant. People always assume a cat, oh, they drink cream and milk and whatever else, because, you know, they've seen it on cartoons and stuff. Cats do love it, but cats are lactose intolerant, and it's very difficult for them to digest it. But for a kitten whose stomach is just tiny, it can actually kill them, so you have to be careful. Now, they'll be okay with normal milk for the first night or so, but you'd want to try and get something lactose-based milk. You go into any pet shop or anywhere, even a normal supermarket that sells cat food, and they will have cat milk there. It's a treat for cats, but if you get that, you're better off. If you don't, try and get fat-free milk, completely fat-free milk. Into a bowl, throw in an egg. Here's some I made earlier. Basically heat this up now, right, to about 10 seconds. It should basically heat up, be grand, but you know, test it the same way you test baby milk, you know, baby formula. You don't want to be giving them anything that's too hot, because, you know, once again, their stomachs are not going to be able for it. Okay? Right.